beautiful book dragons, welcome back to my channel and to another installment of Classic Thursday. Today I want to discuss Maurice by E.M. Forster. I do have to disclaim that I wouldn't recommend Maurice if this is your first Forster read. Probably read something else by him first. So yeah, let's get started. If I had to describe this novel, I would describe it as a classic gay romance with some dark academia vibes. So when I first heard of this, I was like, please sign me in. To be completely honest with you guys, I was not getting it in the beginning. The story goes on a bit slowly and it can get tedious. I feel like 50% of the book was quite a tedious read. It just was so slowly. But then the other half of the book really made me want to talk about this more and actually make this video. So I think it's worth pushing through half of the book to get to the other half that is really good. This classic was written in 1913 but was published after Forster dies in 1971 because he didn't want to be persecuted for writing about same-sex love. Obviously, I mean, who would want that? And we do see this as a theme throughout the whole book. This struggle, we follow Maurice from adolescence to beyond with this struggle of him with his sexuality, what it means. At the beginning, we even see like a talk with a professor that's talking about women and the way that he's supposed to feel about them. And we do see him throughout the whole novel trying to, first of all, like the first part, figure out that he actually likes men, and then the next part he talks about a little bit of religion and how he stands with that, because of course in this time and period religion is a big part of this. My dog is making a lot of noise, I'm so sorry. The first time that we actually see him discuss with himself the way that he feels about men, he says he was not attracted to the man in the sense that he wanted him for a friend, but he did feel he might help him. How? He didn't formulate. So we start seeing the struggle with this quote that he tells himself, like, I don't want him just to be my friend, but he's still really scared about how he really feels about it, to even consider or start asking himself questions about his sexuality and the way that he feels about it, really. So we really see how he's very confused at the beginning and it all seems very obscure to him. So as a reader, we really see how everyone trying to influence the way that he feels about all of these aspects is just confusing him even more. And like I said, a very important discussion within the book is about religion. And of course, when it comes to homosexuality, religion just comes into the picture. I think even today we have the discussion and people using religion as an impediment for them to understand and encourage same-sex relationships, as well as other things that we're not going to get into in this video. A thing that I found here was something that the author wrote. There were David and Jonathan. There was even the discipline that Jesus loved, but the church's interpretation was against him. So with this paragraph, we really see a glimpse into the author's opinion, saying that what's wrong is the interpretation made by the church and humans instead of the way he feels. And takes as an example David and Jonathan. Now, I did a little bit of research and the biblical text does not explicitly says the nature of the relationship between David and Jonathan, but a lot of people do see it as a platonic love and they do see the relationship as romantic. And I think one of these people, of course, is Forster, because he puts it in here, you know, as a romantic thing that is happening in the Bible. So he's putting that out there as well, like, well, maybe it's not about me, maybe the way that I feel is not wrong, maybe it's put into the interpretation of the church and what they want to convey into the people. And regarding of the religious aspect, Maurice at the end says and decides that slipping past the Bible rather than opposite it was offering a new guide to life, to make the most of what I have, not to crush it down and not vainly to wish that it was something else, but to cultivate it in such ways as will not vex either God or man. Which I just take it as I'm gonna do whatever the heck I want. I'm just going to hide it from society so that man is not going to judge me, and then I'm gonna make my own interpretation of things so that God won't judge me in my mind. However, we do see that he's referring to his relationship as something that he would not want to change, and he sees that change as an act of being really vain with this. So he doesn't want to change his relationship just so that it would look good in society. Another very interesting thing that I got from the book is that Maurice also acknowledged that it's not just him or a very small part of men that feels this way. He does says, so they proceeded outwardly like other men. Society received them as she received thousands like them. Behind society slumbered the law. Referring, of course, to the awful consequences of indecency back then. And you know, after a bit of drama in the book, Maurice decides, however, that he wants to be cured, and when he seeks out for help to a doctor, he says, I say, in your round here, do you come across Unspeakables of the Oscar Wilde sort? I love an Oscar Wilde reference, first of all, and the very, very sad response that he gets is, no, that's in the asylum, thank God. So we see that seeking help seems to not be an option at all for Maurice. I really don't want to spoil the book for anyone, so I won't be talking about any details, but this is the beautiful realization that Maurice comes across from. They, referring to him and his love interest, intended no harm to the world, but so long as it attacked, they must punish. They must stand wary. They hit with full strength. They must show that when two are gathered together, majorities shall not triumph. Which just leaves the reader with a little bit of a note of hope in there as well, which I think is really why Ian Forster was not so interested into publishing this while he was alive. He was probably not scared of writing about same-sex love, but giving this message of hope, as well as having like a happy ending and having this character that goes into this impulse without having consequences. I think that's why Forster was more afraid of than anything else. Now, if you have read this novel, I really want to know your opinions on it, and I really want to know what is your opinion of Clive Durham. I think he's a complete asshole. But what do you think about him pulling that? I am a new man, I am Kira, look at my wife. And then judging and criticizing Maurice for continuing on with the lifestyle and not choosing to like reform himself or grow out of the trend or something like that. I would really like your thoughts on that character specifically, so please leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment and subscribe for more videos and bookish content, book discussions, etc. And I will see you, beautiful, beautiful book dragons, on my next video. Bye!
Remember when you saw me in the club, didn't show me any love? You was too busy.